Bankruptcy can basically be defined as when a person or entity cannot pay owed creditors. Once a person/entity reach such a financial position, it has to file for bankruptcy. Obviously, the first thing to be considered is the legality of the bankruptcy, amongst other things. One of the hardest things to figure out is the bankruptcy attorney fees, because these vary from attorney to attorney. This makes the process more stressful for people who have to file for bankruptcy. One can file for bankruptcy without hiring the services of an attorney, but it is always recommended to use one when filing for bankruptcy. It is better to hire an independent bankruptcy attorney, because firms charge significantly higher fees. Some people first get in touch with the firms and are prepared to pay any amount of money because they feel overwhelmed by their situation. Whether one hires a firm or an individual, one has to get the services paid for. As a debtor, one has to secure the best legal representation possible. When filing for bankruptcy, shortcuts should never be taken. This is because it is a legal process. Sometimes the courts will decide what fees the attorney can charge the client in particular cases. However, in most cases bankruptcy attorneys can charge whatever fees they want. Unfortunately, when one is filing for bankruptcy, it is because one already cannot afford to pay off debts. The very last thing any person in such a situation wants is to incur even more debilitating expenses. But this is one expense that anyone facing bankruptcy cannot afford to skimp on. Bankruptcy is very complicated. There are many things that could go wrong during the process of filing. This is why the expert skills and experience of a professional bankruptcy attorney is needed. As previously mentioned, all bankruptcy attorneys do not charge the same fees. There are different things that determine the fees that they charge. However, it is important to be aware that you will be paying the attorney for his/her services. There are fees that one incurs when filing for bankruptcy. There are other fees involved, including filing fees. Depending on how complicated the case is, a person filing for bankruptcy can expect to pay between $800 and $2,000. There are a couple of factors that determine the fees that bankruptcy attorneys charge. For example, the area in which the attorney's offices are located will determine their fees. Those in affluent areas charge higher fees than those in poorer areas. For example, a bankruptcy attorney on the Upper East Side of New York City will charge higher fees than an attorney in Brooklyn. If you reside in an expensive neighborhood, you can save on your bankruptcy costs by hiring the services of an attorney from a cheaper side of town. Experienced attorneys charge more than newly trained ones. For this reason, in order to save on bankruptcy attorney fees, it is advisable to hire a relatively newly trained attorney than one who has been practicing for decades. However, with this comes the risk of your case not being successful or not as successful as one wants. This is because the more experienced attorneys are better able to assist their clients than those who have just got their licenses. Those who have only just got their licenses will not have as much experience for arguing on behalf of clients and securing favorable deals. For this reason, it is best to hire inexperienced attorneys when one has a simple bankruptcy case. Also, most bankruptcy attorneys are more than prepared to negotiate their fees and terms of payment as long as they are not requested to reduce their fees too drastically.